like Zoink Scoob! It's the Bruce in a Landfill show! We were like a various villains rock after watching Chris from Yeah, Scoob! That one!
I have no idea what you just tried to fucking say!
This week we have, TAR!
Jinkies!
And
I don't know why I'm Velma.
We have Try, which is me. I'm Try. I'm not gonna throw my voice out doing it. Yeah, so this week we'll be talking Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo games specifically. But
because
before
Scooby-Doo just had its 50th anniversary.
Wait, really?
Yeah. What? Friday the 13th.
Wow. Oh man, that's spooky. By the way, on that day I watched Happy Birthday, well, Happy Death Day to You, and great sequel to a great movie, underrated, people need to go watch it, fuck it. Though I don't want a third movie, because the third movie, I know exactly where they're gonna go and they're gonna fuck it up. Anyways, that's another conversation. So first off, before we get into Scooby-Doo talk, I need to address some points from the previous episode, because we had some very spicy takes about My Hero Academia, that I don't fault Tarf on, because this is all Dizzy's fault, because for some reason he thinks watching 2-minute clips from YouTube gives him the... he admitted it, but like he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about. Like, I think if Dizzy actually watched the show, that specific complaint of his would go away. So, for those who are catching up, last week Dizzy was like, oh yes, the villains in My Hero Academia suck, because they're all, the villains are all about heroes are bad and whatnot, but yet the villains are going around making chaos and whatnot. Despite the only villain who was actually like that was the hero killer Stain, who Dizzy also said was the only good villain. And the main point is that the villain organization is using the hero killer Stain's ideology to make the heroes look bad, because the hero, because specifically, hand face guy, as Dizzy likes to say, fucking hates All Might, because he was basically brought up by All Might's arch rival All For One to specifically hate All Might. So the bad guys, the main bad guys don't care about the ideology of the killer Stain. They're just using him. Does that save the show from its problems? No. I mean, as Lunch correctly pointed out, that the cast is too large and we don't get enough time with each character. They compare it to Naruto and Boruto, which are actually really bad comparisons, because Naruto and Boruto do things in two completely different ways. One, Naruto starts you off with just really the main cast, and it slowly feeds in the new characters till we have this larger cast. So by the time we get there, we already have story told with our original guys, and each time a new character is brought in, there's a story arc around them. Where Hero Academia, on the other hand, is we have Deku, after a few episodes, he gets joined into the school, and then we have this massive cast. And they're always doing things together as a group. There's very little time when they're actually separated, and when they are separated, we're looking at the whole group separated anyways. So we never really have any individual time for individual arcs with the characters in the cast. Which is dumb, because it's always a group dynamic with incredibly high stakes when these people should just be going to school. Which is actually very similar to Boruto, because Boruto does a similar thing, but it's actually straight from the beginning. You've got a class of people, and then it spends the first 12 episodes going through introducing these new characters, and each of them have their own it's the first 12 episodes of Boruto is a slice of life show where Boruto and crew basically go around helping each of the students in the class. That's basically it. And yes, the show is hardly about Boruto himself. You can make that criticism, but despite it being a less interesting cast than fucking My Hero Academia, it gets more development and more time with them. Anyways, that was my My Hero Academia rant. That was only a couple minutes long. Let's move forward.
Cool story,
Dizzy,
bro.
Dizzy Lunch, fuck you guys for talking about this without me. Fuck you guys for making...
Very cool.
Yes, very cool. Thank you for making me defend My Hero Academia when it's a completely average shonen. It has cool hype moments, and it has the cast dynamic is on the better end of shonen. But Jesus Christ, the plot is a disaster. It's
So anyway,
Anyways.
Scooby-Doo, right?
Row. We're talking about Scooby-Doo.
Try to stop.
Okay, I'll stop. My wife's the voice actor. I don't know why I'm doing this.
Damn. So this whole thing started because we wanted to talk about Night of 100 Frights, right?
Yeah. This is all sorry because we didn't have any other topic, and we were talking about GameCube games that we both played, and Night of the 100 Frights was the only one that we could think of
We
at the
had
time.
any overlap on?
Yeah.
So I was telling you earlier, like, that was a predecessor to Battle for Bikini Bottom, right?
Yeah, I'm actually really...
Battle for
interests
Bikini
me.
Bottom was the second game that Heavy Iron Studios ever made.
Wow.
Night of 100 Frights being the first.
Whoa. I mean, I can imagine Night of 100 Frights being a studio's first game, because, man, is it rough.
Ha! I see what you did there.
I mean, it's charming as all hell, but boy, is it a rough game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I can say the same thing about...
Alright, so, first gripe, whose idea was it to introduce the annoying invincible enemy in level, 3?
Ugh. I don't even know where to start with this game. Well, first off, it's been a decade since I've played it. But I remember out of all the all the Scooby-Doo games that I've played, this is the one I liked the least and didn't beat.
Oh. So I have that over you.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I was in kindergarten and first grade when I had this, so...
Oh, okay.
I wasn't the premier gamer at the time. I didn't have my game.
I replayed it semi-recently. Mm-hmm. I don't really have everything memorized, but I have beaten the game several times.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. It absolutely is a rough ride.
Yeah. Oof. I'm just looking at this demo. Oh, that's the tutorial level of it, and I'm just oh my, this is so rough.
What are camera angles?
Yeah, what would I will say, it's interesting the mechanics they chose, because this demo, this tutorial is introducing a lot of concepts. We got ice physics. We have this thing that you swing around. I'll give them this: the character animations for an early 2000s GameCube game ooze with charm.
Oh, absolutely! This game visually is pretty nice, as we say in the business.
I mean, for a studio's first game too, that's I can see this is the same crew that made the Battle for Bikini Bottom, because that was one of the things that stood out about that game, was just the level of character and the models. What else? What about the boss battles in this game? I'm trying to remember. Some of it.
You've probably only gotten to the Dark Knight, right?
This is just kind of bringing back traumatic experiences watching this trip.
All four boss battles in this game are very similar. They have one attack each. Hell, Redbeard, the ghost of Redbeard is literally just a flunky boss.
Ouch.
He attacks by sending... Actually, so is the Green Ghost, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think both of those only attack by sending mooks at you.
Really? Oh, so this is literally just the Okumura boss from Persona 5.
I don't know what that is, but I'm going to say yes anyways.
It is, because basically it's a JRPG boss battle where he just sends out all the robots that you fought beforehand. You don't even fight the boss.
I think the final boss does too.
Oh, that's lame.
Yeah.
Can I just say these character models' eyes are very dead, though?
First phase of the final boss does that. Second phase is different.
Can I just say that like the actual people, their like character models, the eyes are completely dead.
I'm sorry, the eyes are completely what?
Dead.
Oh yeah. That you're talking about the groundskeeper, right?
Yeah, well, even like there was that girl in the mansion.
Oh yeah, Holly.
Yeah.
So give you 5. So you get 3 guesses as to who the mastermind actually is.
It's none of them.
Oh.
No, I don't know. Is it the groundskeeper or is it Holly?
The mastermind himself is actually the professor.
Oh, cool.
But all of it was, all of the monsters coming back, that was the work of Holly, and Holly doing some hologram things.
And Tar completely cut out right now, so I
Oh,
don't
well
know
then.
what he's saying.
All the monsters coming back, like all of your old foes coming back,
Yeah.
all of that was hologram work done by Holly.
What? What? Okay, that's
Right,
bullshit.
right before the final boss, you visit the mastermind's lair, and it turns out he has like pits of acid for like, I don't know. I think that had something to do with it.
So you're telling me that this whole game was just Yu-Gi-Oh with Yu-Gi-Oh with solid
Yes,
holograms?
absolutely.
Fucking. This is why
Also,
anime is
like,
bad, kids.
The ending cutscene. This is the biggest gripe I have with this game. The ending cutscene where Velma like explains how all the clues fit together. Like, not a single clue that she presented in her conclusion was found in game.
Oh, that's great. Well, I mean, that's pretty accurate. I mean, you're playing as Scooby through the whole time, and how often does Scooby actually contribute to the investigation?
Well, that's fair. But, like...
I mean, really, but you know what's going on is that, like, Scooby is just screwing around and whatnot, and the rest of the crew is doing the actual investigation.
But they can't do that because they've all been kidnapped.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually very true. There's actually something I liked about something...
you see Velma, like, trapped in that cage at the top of the mansion. Like, on the balconies.
Yeah, see, this is partially why I liked some of the newer... I forget if it was specifically Mystery Mayhem or Unmasked, but one or both of them actually, like, had each... It was like a chapter-based thing where there was a monster you were... Yeah, it's separated into episodes where you actually find the clues to you find the clues to solve mysteries. Yeah, it was Mystery Mayhem. Yeah, Mystery Mayhem was probably my favorite. Just because it was actually like you went around finding the clues and it played out like an actual Scooby-Doo episode, but with platforming.
I feel like this game wants to be a real Scooby-Doo episode, but it also wants to be a platformer.
No, it wants to be the second live action Scooby-Doo movie.
Which one was that one again?
Monsters Unleashed.
Which one was that one again?
It was one where all the historic monsters come back.
Okay, I don't know if I saw that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was like there was no trick to it. It was just like literally the monsters came back because of magic.
Oh.
The live action movies use magic quite a bit.
For some reason.
Yeah.
The main clue that stuck with me that Velma presented for her conclusion was that at some point during the mansion she saw Holly's, with finger quotes, wrist pass through one of the guardrails on one of the staircases in the mansion. But there was zero opportunity for Scooby to see that, so it's just like, what the fuck?
Oof. Now that earns 3 oofs from me.
Because this Holly was fake. Yeah. This Holly was a hologram.
Oh, she was a hologram?
That is the exact pun Shaggy makes at the end of the game.
Well, like Zoink's TAR, I am I try to do the voice like unprepared, and then
Zoink's try.
Like Zoink's TAR.
And this has been your bad impression 3 seconds.
Yep. Actually, it wasn't too bad. Shaggy is not hard to do. Like,
No, he's
if
not.
it's a matter of getting to the right like part of your diaphragm.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but you know, I'm just like watching this like let's play of it, and it's just like bringing back childhood trauma.
Childhood trauma. Like, what kind of childhood trauma? I want to hear what this game. I want to hear where this game touched you.
It touched me like right in the heart.
Aw, that's usually heartwarming.
Yeah, no, I was making a joke, like a reference to Cyanide and Happiness.
Oh,
That was a good
okay.
that was a good heartwarming episode of Cyanide and Happiness.
Seriously, what did this game do to you?
No, I just remember just like not having a good time with it.
Like, it was just, like, bland.
Like it was bland. I didn't like the atmosphere. I didn't like. There was some really frustrating what's the word platforming challenges.
The platforming didn't. Well, okay, I'm trying to remember now. Did the platforming get me at all? I think there are some points in which it did, like particularly during the hedge maze segment.
Yeah, but you're talking to somebody who played this when they were like 5 or 6.
That's fair.
Also, has bad hand-eye coordination in the first place.
I remember something tripped me up in the caves for the longest time. The caves are directly attached to the hedge maze, and that's how you get to the cemetery, which leads to the Green Ghost boss fight. There's a point in the caves where the path splits into an upper path and a lower path, and the lower path is incomplete. With the top path, there are a whole bunch of stalactites hanging down. What I couldn't intuit at the time was that Scooby was supposed to headbutt the stalactites to make them drop onto the lower path so you could continue.
Okay, that's pretty lame. I think my biggest problem with the game, I think it just spooked me too much. Like, I think just the atmosphere was just like too unsettling for me when I was playing it.
You couldn't handle a Scooby-Doo atmosphere?
Well,
hey, you were 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even like a Scooby-Doo atmosphere, because even the regular show isn't like this dark and grungy. It's like I'm looking through watching like the hedge maze right now, and it's like there is like this real like atmosphere that I think the game captures great.
Excuse you.
Yeah, but there is like this real like sense of like dread that I feel looking at this game.
Well, I mean, it is from Scooby's perspective, so.
Yeah, but that's also sort of like adds into it. But it's weirdly not that goofy of a game. It's very much more like you have like spooky monsters, and it is a bit trying to think. I don't know. I don't have the exact words, but as I said, like it's been over a decade since I played this game. I wouldn't mind replaying it, but I also just don't think it's something that I would enjoy replaying.
I found it functional to get through.
Yeah,
it's functional for the most part. There are some times when you revisit the mansion through the underground passages that are a little bit wonky, and especially as your power-ups start like really piling on, because Scooby gets like 6 power-ups through the entire game.
Ooh. That's weird.
I'm trying to remember. Like, there's this, of course, there's the helmet, there's the springs, there's the basic platforming stuff. You get boots so you can walk on tar and through goop and stuff. You can function normally there. You get bubble gum so you can lock enemies in place and bounce on their heads.
Yeah, I remember that. That's something I really remember. I find it hilarious that like you need slippers to just to walk softly. Like, like no, you can't just like slow down and sneak around. It's like specifically use the slippers.
There's another. I never used the slippers. There's another version of that too, where you get on the balconies you can get a suit of armor that carries the same functionality for some reason.
Oh, okay. I'll buy that. I find it weird that a lot of this game is just a 2.5D platformer, but yet there's a 3D hub world.
It's not really 2.5D. It's pretty 3D.
I know. Well, no, it's 3D, but like the level design is designed as like a 2.5D platformer.
For some of them, definitely, but not all levels.
Like I'm watching like it's on the hedge maze mezzle.
The hedge maze, yes.
And same thing with the docks. It's like you'll have some areas that are pure 3D, but a lot of it's like these long corridors you go up you go up and down in.
Yeah, it's understandable. That's understandable.
Yeah, which that's not necessarily a knock on the game, but it definitely adds to this like claustrophobic feel that pervades it.
I think as soon as you get to the shipwrecks, things start to become more open-ending. Like the shipwrecks are very open-ended levels, from my recollection.
Yeah.
As well as the mansion secret passages. For some reason, like there's a lot of I remember there being a lot of open-ended segments, like in the dungeon area. Oh, by the way, there's a dungeon.
Oh, what type of dungeon?
A dungeon.
It has one of oh god, I just remembered is the one of those like things where you have to stay on the vehicle while like going over.
Yeah, that level kind of tripped me up.
Yeah, I'm watching this person try to do like 100% like snacks run.
Ouch! It's 100% snacks run too.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got all the monster tokens, but I couldn't get all the snacks.
Yeah, there's some snacks that are rough.
Like I tried doing Cower in the Tower because that's just because like Cower in the Tower only has one segment, but like there was like one box. My snack count was like 5 short, so I always figured there was like one box that I couldn't find.
Yeah, I will say, looking through this is probably like out of the Scooby-Doo games I've played, this is probably has the best specific level design. I clearly remember the other two, like the actual like level design and gameplay, not being the strongest. Like it was very much more like, oh, this is like you're playing a Scooby-Doo thing, where this seems to be trying to be more of a platformer first rather than a Scooby-Doo. So it's probably more fun to play, I'll say that. Like a bit more of a challenge.
Oh, it's very challenging, especially toward the end.
Yeah. If you get the chance, I definitely would recommend checking out some of those other Scooby-Doo games. Just specifically which one was it? Mystery Mayhem. Just because like because that was a GameCube PS2 era.
It's gonna be hard to find then.
I know.
They
always are. Look! I had to put down like I think $30-$40 for Billy Hatcher.
That's not bad.
I know it's not bad, but
$30 that was like, for Billy Hatcher doesn't seem like a horrible deal.
But it's also Billy Hatcher. I have a soft place in my heart for Billy Hatcher, but it's
okay.
It's
so
a rough game.
Now we're switching roles because I played Billy Hatcher once when I was like 5, or when I was like
so I guess
8.
So I guess we're doing the Billy Hatcher retrospective now.
But I hope you enjoyed the Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah. So with Billy Hatcher, now I haven't finished it yet per se. Mainly because I haven't had much of a chance, but I'm essentially done. I've just got the last few stages left. But it's one of those games where, and this is similar. I think this is similar to a lot of GameCube era games where the mechanics are sort of experimental and clunky, and you wouldn't expect to. It's not very intuitive. So Let me use one for example. Use the right trigger to move forward and whatnot.
I
And
don't remember that.
well, it's like not to move forward, but like to speed up. So like that's your like rush.
Okay.
And if you want, but one of the things weird mechanics with that is if you're in the air, you can hit R to like lunge forward and free fall into a roll, like in the middle in midair, which does add to a lot of cool gameplay platforming segments, because there'll be times where like you have to like bounce up, like you'll have these launchers that launch you up, and then you have to free fall roll forward.
Okay.
But I can't tell you how many times when I was getting used to the controller that I would hit R1 to ground pound, and like because to ground pound you hit A, then you hit A again. And if you're in the air and you tap A, it does a bounce, and if you hold A down, it does a ground pound.
That does sound very weird.
Yeah. So, but many times, like I was like, oh, I want to do a ground pound. I hit R trigger. I don't know what game taught me to do that, but I kept doing that. So I'd be in the air trying to go straight down, but then I would roll forward because that's the free fall forward. Same thing with like it's very like I don't know how the right way to put this because there's no real like tutorial to do a lot of like the tech in the game.
Right.
Because there is some real spicy tech you can do. So for example, if you're in a really tight platforming segment where you have to like be really careful about where you're like landing on, sometimes it's easier to control to do like a jump bounce because you have more time in the air to control where you're going to land.
Right.
So you do that, and then when you're right over where you want to go, you do another ground pound bounce to go back up, and then you can continue like to go forward to each small area rather than trying to control the unwieldy egg.
Right.
There is a high ceiling of play, but then there's a lot of iffy bits. So, for example, in the Funhouse level, which is I think World 5, yeah, it's like World 5.
I only made it to World 2.
Yeah, so World 2 isn't a great level either, but World 5 is this fun.
I think it was World 2. It was the pirate level.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not just World. I mean, it's not just World 5. This mechanic actually shows up in World 3, so which is the dinosaur level. But in World, like there are these certain I've talked before about there's these rails that you can jump and roll down with your egg.
Right.
There are certain rails that you can that only the egg rolls onto. So the idea is you put the egg on there, then you go across whatever platforming segment you're at, and then you get the egg. But because it's physics based, if you push the egg on too hard, it will roll down completely fast and roll off the edge on the other side before you get there. So the idea is you have to very gently push the egg onto the rail and have it slowly roll down.
Yes.
The only issue is the hitbox for that fucking rail is unreliable.
Oh no!
So sometimes you will very slowly roll the egg up to it, and it will just fall between it.
Oh no!
I can't tell you how many times it's happened to me, and it's so frustrating. And this is especially frustrating on the levels where you have to well, specifically the dinosaur and the fucking Funhouse levels, because those are the main ones that utilize that mechanic. But when you're doing the golden eggs that have the roosters inside, like the chickens or whatever, that's like the first level of every stage.
Right.
If you lose the egg, if it falls or breaks, it's game over. Like, well, it's not game over, but you lose life essentially.
Yeah.
So like most of the time, if an egg breaks, it's fine. Just go get another egg. In this case, it's every time that, like, if you push it on too hard, it will roll off and then you lose a life. If you're too gentle, it will fall between it and you'll lose a life. And because of how unwieldy the controls are when you're controlling the egg, it's very hard to find that really simple, like that middle spot. Because I think the issue with the falling in between is less like going too slow particularly. I think there's a certain part where like the hitbox of the egg and the hitbox of the thing doesn't line up, and if it's not rolling fast enough, then it goes. So sometimes you're going slow and it just hops on and it just slowly rolls. Other times it goes straight through. But
That sounds like a heckin' good time.
yeah, but it's only 2 levels of that, so like that's the most frustrating pieces of shit in the game. There are
Reminds me of Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz. There are also levels with those rails. But because Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz has a jump now, you have to jump on top of them.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
And jumping between 2 cylinders when you're a ball and physics of the game is what they are. That's
That doesn't sound like a fun time.
Sometimes boarding those rails is a little bit more of a task than you'd think it to be.
Well, the regular rails also like do a similar problem. Like I had a few times where I was rolling forward to them, and I just ran right through them rather than actually boarding the rails. But the only reliable way to get on the rails all the time is to jump onto them. If you jump on the rail, you will always go forward. If you try to run on the rail, it's basically a guessing game. I do wonder if that means like if I could potentially just throw the egg onto the rails.
Well, you can't throw the golden egg, can you?
No, you can throw it. So the eggs will break when you throw it. I just don't trust that it won't just completely miss or go too. I think it'd end up going too fast because you're using the force of the egg being thrown.
Is there a way to like gently toss?
No, because it's more like you're throwing the egg down on enemies. So it's one of these things where you jump up and you throw it down. There's this whole style system, so you can there are a couple ways to hit enemies. You can just roll them over. You don't get any really bonus points for that. You can throw the egg forward in front of you, and any small enemies that it hits or enemies with really small hit points will start rolling around with the egg, and it will cause a bit of a chain reaction, and you get points for like the combo of enemies you take out with that. You can do the same thing with a grand pound, where you basically jump up and you throw the egg down on the enemies, and it does the same thing. So that's harder to land, and the egg's invincibility doesn't last that long. So usually, what will end up happening is the enemies just attack the egg and it breaks. Then the fourth way to attack enemies is to to use the animal friends you make along the way.
So, they were the real eggs.
Yep. So inside, there are multiple types of eggs. You have eggs with power-ups inside them. You have, like I said, the golden eggs. But then there's certain types of eggs that have animal friends inside them. So you roll them up. You eat it, like you roll up a bunch of fruit.
I remember that.
Yeah, you roll up
from a multiplayer.
Yep. Well, the multiplayer is like the best part of the game. Because
couldn't you get like Knuckles as an animal friend?
Well, yeah, you can get a bunch of other Sega characters. Well, you can get that in the base game too, but I think there's a lot of hoops to jump around. Like I think you either have to get a bunch of coins or do certain. Well, I never unlocked that in the base game, but there are certain parts of the game where you like the eggs for the Sonic friends are there. So like I
don't remember what all characters come out of the eggs. I just remember there was one. I think it was Knuckles who like dashes forward 3 times, attacking anything in his path, and then disappears.
There's like Sonic, there's Knights, there's fucking all these other characters. Let me pull up the list right now, but essentially with the animals you can tame them and use them to attack your enemies, and to the same extent you can get bonus. Like if you get a chain of if you get a chain of enemies taken out, you get extra points, and that plays into your score at the end of the game. Because of course this is a Sonic game, so there's scores at the end.
A Sega game?
What?
You mean a Sega game or?
Every Sega game's a Sonic game.
Okay, that's fair. Super Monkey Ball doesn't do that.
But it's not really a Sega game, is it?
I mean, kinda.
I'll leave that. The jury's out on that one.
It has the Billy Hatcher formula of character design: guy, girl, small guy, big guy.
Yeah. Fair enough. So the characters that you can get that are Sonic characters are Sonic from Sonic DX, Tails from Sonic DX, Knuckles from Sonic DX. Chow are born.
I don't remember ever getting any Sonic character other than Knuckles.
It's luck based. It's all random.
Right.
There are Chow characters you can get. There's a thing called Rappy. I don't know what that's from.
I don't remember. I don't recognize that.
You can get Kapu Kapu from it. Nope. I don't know what that's from. Knights from Into Dreams. You can get Amigo from Viva Samba, Viva Amigo.
Hey, I know him. I've never played his games, but I know him.
I never played his game. I've summoned him in Billy Hatcher before. Also, can I just say I love the opening theme to Billy Hatcher? I don't want to get copy strike though.
The only reason I know who Amigo is because I played Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing.
That's fair. That's fair.
I used to play II until I found out that II was actually ass.
Oof. It's like how I play Toad in fucking Mario Kart.
Why would you ever play a small character? Real pros only use Daisy and Funky Kong.
I play Toad on a motorcycle and I kick ass.
But it's not Daisy or Funky Kong, so you're invalid.
Fair enough. I just want to have like my I just want to play with my acceleration and drift at like highest, so that like I always have the easy turn and I'm going ballers fast. Because acceleration is all that matters. It doesn't matter how fast your speed is, because as long as you're accelerating.
No, speed matters.
I mean, speed matters.
Because you are aware that the ones with the highest acceleration are the slowest, right?
Yeah. Shh. No, I mean, really, all I care about is that like I have like I can go fast and it can be easy to turn. That's all that matters.
Right, of course. That's why you use the Mach Bike or the Flame Runner.
I think I use the Mach Bike.
The Mach Bike is god.
And then you have them in Mario Kart 8. You have like the customizable stuff.
Right.
So
I've never actually played Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 is pretty fun. Like
I heard good things about it. But...
Yeah. Like it's not like I'd get it on Switch, but I don't want to buy it again because I bought the DLC for the Wii U one. And Mario Kart is only fun by yourself for so long.
Right, of course.
And I don't like playing online unless if I'm playing with people I know, so...
Yeah, like, I used to use II, and then, like, Super Monkey Ball's representation in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing was bottom tier.
Like, how bottom tier?
So... There are, I believe, 32... No, not 32. Fuck, what's 4 times 6? 24. So there's 24 tracks. I think... So there are 6 series represented. Each series gets 3, except for Sonic, who gets 9. Super Monkey Ball has 3 tracks, all of which are unfairly difficult.
Of course. I mean, it's Super Monkey Ball. Why wouldn't they be?
Okay. The last course so the third Super Monkey Ball course, at the end of the lap, has a series of very sharp hairpin turns that I don't think any kart can reasonably do.
What about the AI?
The AI can do them flawlessly.
Of course.
But...
Have you considered slowing down to a stop, picking up, turning your vehicle, going forward?
Is it sad that that's actually what you have to do? To my knowledge. I don't think I actually have the game anymore. But...
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, like, the other 2 tracks, like, aren't bad. Like, they're difficult for their placement.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, they aren't they aren't really bullshit, but the monkey target race course is pretty bullshit.
I mean, it sounds pretty bullshit to me. I mean, monkey target is bullshit anyway, so.
Hard disagree with you, Chief.
I mean, it's been too long since I played, so I can't actually say. But
real bullshit is the way they reworked it for Banana Blitz. I want my ramp back. Ouch. Nobody wants the fucking cannon.
I've got no comments. Super Monkey Ball Switch win.
Recent. Soon.
Oh yeah. Oh.
They're redoing Banana Blitz for some reason, despite the fact that's one of the worst games in the series.
God. I don't even want to look at it. Yeah, Monkey Ball Battle Royale win.
I think that's just called Monkey Fight.
Oh.
Remember when we wanted to avoid this topic?
Oh yeah, oof. Monkey Fight was interesting. Oh.
Yeah, I ended up picking up BD Joe, despite the fact that he's exactly the same as Beat, but for some reason I did better as him.
Okay.
Actually, Beat is better because he has the better All-Star move, but for some reason I just did better with BD Joe.
Have you ever played the Sega All-Star Tennis game?
No, I haven't.
I played a bit of it. I don't remember anything about it. It was my brother's game, I think. Sega games are weird. It's like the Sega Sega's likes to do that thing where it's like, oh yes, we're we've been around the same period of time as like Nintendo has for video games. We're like the rival, and we have this large cast of characters for a crossover. So we'll do the exact same thing Nintendo does, and we'll make crossover sports games.
Except we'll do it worse.
Yeah, exactly. I mean.
Like I had fun with Sega All Stars Racing, but it's just some of the tracks are bullshit.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a Sega we're talking about, and they're going to be throwing Joker into the next Sega game.
Why?
Because Sega
Atlas.
Because Sega's shoehorning in Joker whenever they can. I swear to you, they're like. If they're gonna the next game's gonna be like Sega Strikers, which will be like Mario Strikers but with Sega characters, and then like Joker's gonna be like one of the leading figures on it. It'll be like you'll have like Team like Sonic, and then you have like Team Joker. God, I wish we got like more like actually like good like Mario types of sports games like Mario Strikers.
I'm trying to remember. Did they throw in Ryu from Street Fighter in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing? Because I seem to remember that being a thing.
I think they did.
And he had the best. Ryu had the best All-Star.
I didn't play it, but I completely believe it. I'll say this: I'd love to see like Joker make into like the next like Sega crossover game just to like make
just to make Dizzy angry.
Yeah. Oh my god, they're gonna totally shoehorn him into Mario and Sonic Japan.
Please, why?
But he's not. I mean, Eggman's in there, and Eggman's sort of human looking.
He's sort of human looking. I don't know why I found that so funny.
I don't know either. But yeah, no, some of my I'm actually kind of sad that we don't get the same sorts of I don't know if it's just because of like how games have like changed, but I miss like the old like Sonic Strikers, Mario, not Sonic, Mario Strikers, Mario All-Star Baseball or whatever.
I never played a lot of those Mario sports games.
I played the GameCube one. I liked it a lot. I played the Wii one. I liked it a lot. They're just a lot of fun. Like
most I ever did was Mario Party.
Yeah. Super Mario Party is actually kind of fun. I mean, I'll say that.
You mean the one for the Switch?
Yeah.
You mean the one that's bad?
You mean the one that's good?
You mean the one that's okay?
The one
okay, Mr. 80 minigames.
I mean, I won't deny that it is like incredibly stripped back, but compared to the
Why did
last
it
few,
need to be though?
I mean, alternatively, we could have had another Mario Party 11.
Which one was 11 again?
I don't know. Was it? I
No,
think was it
Super
11?
Mario Party was 11.
No, or was it 10? It was the one. It was the one where you had like
It's the one with the car?
Yeah, with
Okay,
Bowser.
that's fair. But, like, the Switch can handle more than 100 minigames, right?
I don't disagree with you, but it's the first good one since the GameCube.
I mean,
Like,
I get that there's like a whole bunch of other stuff on the side, but like the point of the Switch, but like the point of having this, like, but the point of that is like showing that the Switch can handle it.
I'm gonna stop you right there. Super Mario Party is a tech demo. It just shows off all the cool. It's Mario Party, but it shows off all the cool things you can do with the Switch remote.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you so far.
The accuracy of the Switch remote, the 3D rumble, the sound, like basically Super Mario Party is just like, look at how much better the minigames we can make as opposed to all the dumb Wii ones we made. Like, there might be less minigames and less maps and like less content in general in Super Mario Party. The quality in the minigames of Super Mario Party, like, it feels like they're like 10 times better than most of the stuff in the Wii games.
I don't know. I don't want to play the same one 3 times when I'm only doing 10 rounds.
No, but that's sort of the thing, because like because the maps are small and the games are smaller, you're not playing like as many mini games. So, in like 10 rounds, like, you're not going to be playing the same mini game over and over again. And some of those
really?
And some of those mini games are legitimately fun.
I won't disagree with you, but like Tiny Hat loves Super Mario Party 32.
Well, Tiny Hat has good taste.
Okay, so it's not a 10 rounder, but we tend to do 20 rounders, and we will get the same. We will legitimately play like 7 minigames.
That just sounds like bad luck, because like if it's
it is bad luck, but still like it would be helped with a more expansive minigame library.
I don't know. I feel like if
I will never I will remain bitter about this.
I'm just waiting for them to release like the Super Mario Party like expansion pack, so they don't have to release a sequel.
I don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
If they haven't done it already, they probably aren't going to.
Yeah, it certainly feels like they focused on making a bunch of more side content rather than just on. For example, each of the boards are much smaller. It seems like they wanted to go for a smaller bite-sized experience for the maps rather than like these hour-long epics. What it definitely feels like the idea of Super Mario Party is, let's do a bunch of smaller, more impressive stuff rather than fill it up with a bunch of shitty mini games.
And that's understandable.
Like, I will say this, like, okay, like, I would rather play the same good minigame 7 times than play some of those god awful ones that were in like 8, 9, and 10.
I think the one I played before Super Mario Party was like 6.
Well, see, you don't have a point of reference.
I do not have a point of reference. But
6 has some of the best mini games.
Like 4, 5, 6. It was somewhere around there.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6 was the real golden spot of like having some really good mini games. But when you hit 8, just because of how wonky the Wii controller could be, they were. I mean, I think 7 was 7 the first one that came out on the Wii. I forget exactly.
The first one that came out on the Wii was 7, I believe. Yes.
Yeah. 7 was, I think, 7 was probably the best of the Wii ones, which is telling since that was the first Wii one.
Well, I mean, like, it was a launch title, so it had to be good.
Well, but it's not just that. They kept things a bit simpler with the controls. They kept it to like the base motions and whatnot. But
they didn't ask to do anything too strenuous with the Wiimote.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like some of those maps were just way too big. They were blowing their load on some of those maps. Where like I do think the Super Mario Party maps are a bit too small at times, and you can't get
Oh,
bit.
absolutely. The Super Mario Party maps are puny, especially
Yeah,
the fourth one.
yeah, but and I do wish they were slightly larger, but I will take those slightly smaller ones where you can bounce around the board easier to get the stars a bit easier, rather than those massive. Like compared to how large they were getting, and like if you're like 50 spaces away from the star, there's no way you're getting that without cheats. You know?
Well, that's why items exist.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's getting the right item. And Super Mario Party has a lot of items to easily get to the star. Like,
It's almost a little too easy to
I mean,
get to the stars sometimes.
especially if you're good at the game and you're just screwing people over. Like,
What a Mario Party good at the game? Pick one.
yeah, yeah. I'll say at the least with Super Mario Party, you're not going to spend like 20 minutes with one person clearly ahead with no way of you catching up to them without a big stroke of
Oh,
luck.
really?
Yeah. Where with at least with Super Mario Party, it's like things can turn on a dime very quickly at any moment just because of like how small the maps are. Like there's always a chance for you to catch up, to go around the map.
I had one person in the lead pick up 3 stars in one turn.
Yeah, that's like in Super Mario Party.
In Super Mario Party, yes.
Well, that's just because the person actually had skill. They got good.
Again, Super Mario Party. Skill. Pick one.
I
You
know.
only get one.
No,
Skill is punished in Super Mario Party.
I know, but but the main
Well,
thing
not
with
Super Mario Party. Mario Party in general.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But at the very least with Super Mario Party, because it's smaller bite-sized experiences, the games are going to be naturally shorter, and then there's more time for recovery. So it's like, okay, you lose this one, but you can still like play 2 or 3 more games in this setting. Because no, I don't think anybody would want to play like a 60 round, like a full like hour game on those small maps. Like it feels like it's designed to just be shorter, quicker
Because
games.
10 rounds is... The game estimates 10 rounds to be an hour.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, okay. I guess it's like because classic Mario Party took it up to like 50 like it was like a 50 round max, I think. I'm trying to remember exactly.
That. I thought it was still a 20 round max. Or 25 maybe.
Maybe I'm misremembering, but I can't see 10 rounds actually taking an hour with how quickly turns can go. Like it's saying that each turn can like take 10 minutes per no. Well, if it's an hour 60 minutes, and if it's 10 rounds. Maybe I feel like it'd be more closer to 30 minutes if people knew what they were doing rather than
Well, I mean, we also only do it with 2 players, so we have to account for time the AI is moving.
Yeah. But like even with 4 players, I feel like it shouldn't take an hour. 30 minutes maybe.
I can't remember. I'll have to boot it up again to see, but I'm pretty sure it says that 10 rounds takes an hour and 20 rounds takes 2 hours.
See that's sounding more like old Mario Party to me rather than new, but I could be wrong. I could be misremembering. It's been a few months since I've played Super Mario Party.
Also, I think the thing I like most about Super Mario Party is the ally system.
Yeah, oh, that's the best part. That's great. But at the same time, it also makes jumping around.
I love that your character choice actually influences things now.
Yeah, no. And same thing with the die rolls. It's like, well, like the different dies that you can choose from. Like it adds to this.
Well, okay. Let me correct myself. I love that your character choice can influence things.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to pick the character specific die, but I am never going anyone other than DK.
Yeah, but to the same extent, it gives you that extra bit of choice of like, okay, like let's choose which one you want to. And what's also nice is that's like there's those few bits of dice that actually let you just like move one or don't move at all, so you can just keep landing on the same space over and over and over again. Like,
sometimes that's not really.
There's use for you don't want to use it all the time, but there is use for landing on the same space again.
There is, but you can't do it with the one space that would matter the most. You can't do that on an ally space because your ally would roll the die for you.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the same. Like once you get allies, it doesn't matter. Like
once you get allies, you can't do that anymore, and you want allies because allies are fucking god tier.
Fucking Christ, I'm embarrassing.
Oh no. We're having mic troubles.
Yep. But with the ally system does prevent that abuse. Though technically speaking, can the allies still roll a 0? I'm not.
No, they always roll either a 1 or a 2.
Okay. Yeah. So it's essentially tech you can do until you get an ally. But like even so, like let's say for like legitimate sake, let's say that the star is on the completely opposite side of the board as you. There is no way you're going to catch up to it. Like it is much more valuable to stay in the same place as you are than to try to rush across, like than to roll a big number and go across, because the star could end up right in front of you if you don't go for the other, like the star that you can't reach.
I guess that's fair.
Like it gives you a bit more
sound
control.
like you're a Koopa Troopa main.
I might be. I don't remember what I played. I think I usually played as Toad just because I like Toad.
Wait,
but
you can't play as Toad.
Oh, you can't play as Toad. Damn it.
Wait, what's Toad's die? Toad doesn't have a die. What the fuck is?
Yeah, try talking out of his ass again. What's new? No,
Toad's one of the hosts, you dingus.
I'm interested in seeing what they do with the next Mario Party. I do hope that they do something more, like, I don't want them to do the same thing they did with 10 with the Bowser thing, but I do like that sort of like asynchronous or like that like 3 versus 1 sort of gameplay.
I sneeze.
Oh.
I don't have to sneeze anymore.
Okay.
I hate it when that happens.
Like I do like the more experimental game modes. Like I didn't get a chance to play the raft riding one, but things like that just sound cool.
It's okay.
I mean, I'm all for experimentation with new modes. Doesn't mean they're always going to be good.
Everything is strictly cooperative in that mode, and
yeah, but that's
I'm not a huge fan of co-op.
So
just in general.
I'm more of a fan of co-op as opposed to cooperative, but that's as competitive. That's me. Like my wife and I like playing like the tag team mode against the AI, which I find interesting because like in that like mode, it's like you have like free range to go.
Oh yeah, that is a free that is an interesting take on it. Like that's co-op. I'm okay.
Yeah, like well, it's because it's competitive co-op. There's still people you're trying to beat. But I think the cool thing with that mode, it's like where they could have very easily just made it another Mario Party where you're like, oh, you go around this board and whatnot. But by giving you the ability to land wherever you want, so giving you the ability to kind of move as you wish rather than a straight line across the board with some branching paths. Like it adds a bit to the strategy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but though the most frustrating thing about it is you have to land on the star space. And there's nothing more frustrating than rolling a number that's either even and odd. That's.
I need an odd, and the game keeps giving you evens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. Because that's just how that is. Like that's just how that kind of system would work.
Yeah. But it applies to your opponents too, so it's not completely unfair.
Also, am I the only one who thinks that the soundstage thing is completely unnecessary?
Yeah, I played a bit of it, but like,
did they need to dedicate 10 mini games to that?
I like rhythm games, but like that wasn't a good mode.
We have 10 different ways we can move the Switch, the Joy-Cons. Sometimes not even.
Yeah.
we want to thrust it forward? We want to pull it back? We would just want to just wave it however the fuck we want?
Do you know what the most important thing you can do with the Switch controller is?
What?
Clap your motherfucking hands. And this has been Bros in a Landfill, signing off.